Well, good morning. It is another day, another install I got going on behind me. This is a 2012 RAV4, I believe. Um, Very good customer of mine, repeat customer. I worked on his trucks and his other vehicles, his grandson's vehicles, and everything. And today they're finally deciding to update the audio and everything in this. So let me show you what we're putting in. I'm going to turn you around. All right, we have got the JVC KW-V660BT. Wow, it won't focus. And we're going to put these in the back door. These are going in the front door. This is going behind the license plate. And we've got all the stuff, all the adapters and fit kits and whatnots. Let's take a look at this thing. This will be fun. License plate on this bad boy is right here. So I'm gonna pop that off, go through this boot, which looks big enough, better than the overhead ones. I don't know if I'm gonna route the wire, if I'm gonna go along this side and over. I usually like going up the driver's side, but yeah, I might go that way. I just make it the Boyo. This camera, I can't recommend it enough. I've installed multiple ones of these. They're inexpensive and they have great views. The clarity works great with aftermarket. The what I like about it, this, I'm not getting paid by them by any means. Wish I would. Installed enough of them. I used to wreck these, but I like this. That is your plug to pass through, and the only, if I had only one complaint about it, is this is not long enough sometimes, and you have to try and get this plug in through wherever you're going. So you're not having to worry about dealing with this going through whatever you're trying to pass through, a boot or whatever. You can just drill your hole, or if you're like this, that's as big as the hole as I have to drill behind the license plate to pass this through. And then so it's less to seal. You have to worry about water getting in, that sort of thing. So I like that camera. It's very relatively inexpensive. It's around $50-$60. And it is I think this is the infrared version too. Yep, IR. So I'm going to power this on with ignition. I'm sure you've been behind vehicles that have their cameras on all the time. These LEDs are lit. You have 6 white lights, and they're on all the time. It looks stupid. This one being IR, these are infrared lights, so you won't see it. They'll be on all the time, and it won't matter. They'll be on. You won't be able to see it during the day or night because it's infrared, and we can't see infrared. It does at night. The camera's black and white, but every camera's black and white. So, but I'll show you some more as I get things taken apart. And let's have a look here. Pretty basic stereo, just a CD player. We'll fit a double DIN in there, the door speakers. We got a woofer and tweeter, so that's kind of nice from the factory. And these rear door speakers. Got big door speakers in this thing. I think they're 6 3/4. So, all right, I'll be back when I've got things tore apart. I'll show you a little more of the process. Okay, so just got the deck ready to pull out. I wanted to show you these two pieces. You pop out. You can pry between the radio or the dash. This one popped out. I pried in between here, and here. And that one there, I pried between the dash and the edge. It didn't want to pop out of there. But then all you have to do is there's 4 10mm bolts. Well, the heads are 10mm anyways. And then you should just be able to pull this, pull the whole thing. Yep, just like that. And that comes out. And it's hard to do one hand. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to wreck the dash or scratch the dash, but that's how she comes out. And then I have a piece that replaces this, and even though I think this comes separate from this, but the radio we're putting in is a double DIN. This is a DIN and a half, it looks like. So that's where we're at. Okay, quick little update. It's only been like 5 minutes. I started prepping the back here for the backup camera install, and you got to see all the crap I had to take out of this car. Hold on. All of that, because I got to take this panel off. I still got to take a bolt out of there. I've got to figure out what size it is, but yeah, it's like Phillips 10 millimeter, Phillips 10 millimeter. I gotta take the seatbelt off over there. And I can pop that panel and pop that panel out, and then run my wire out of this boot down the door sill and to the front. Although they did not have anything crazy in their vehicle as far as, you know, personal items. There's still some stuff I had to move. And just anybody watching this, if you ever take your vehicle in to do have an auto mechanic work on it, either a mechanic or somebody putting in, you know, audio equipment or whatever, clean your car out. Just take everything out. Make it as stock as possible. It just helps us. We don't I hate moving people's stuff. I hate when, you know, if I take my car in, if I leave anything in there, I don't like that stuff being moved around. So if you can clean your car out before you bring it into an auto shop. So like I said, the pile of stuff over here, it's mats, and I mean it's all parts of the vehicle. So if they had any personal stuff in there, it would have been more of a pain in the butt. The only thing I had to take out was a car seat, so big deal. I can put those in. But I'll be back. I'm going to start getting the plate off and running my, actually I'm going to finish getting this plastic off and then run my cable through, and yeah, it should go pretty easy. All right, quick little update here. I got the, turn this around. I got the camera cable fed through. I'd take the license plate frame off. Customer was okay with that. Unfortunately, like I said before, they don't make this long enough to reach all the way. I gotta zoom out here. I can't make this stretch to come through the boot. So I'll have to basically mate up with it about here. So I've disconnected the boot from the cars. Actually kind of neat. I like how Toyota did this. You've got a junction point for the washer fluid hose, popped right off. Plug there and a plug down there. It's sweet. This just gives me a little more room to work, and I can make a straight shot and everything. But now I got to get rid of this tape, and I do not want to run a knife down this. And any other installers out there, if you haven't picked one of these up, go to your local sewing store and get a seam ripper. You can take obviously the end with the little red safety ball, and you stick that in, and you can right up into wherever you want. It won't cut anything that you don't want to cut, and it's nice and safe for the interior harnesses. And when I'm all done, I'll just wrap it back up with tape. So neat little trick. I'm not going to do this while I'm recording because it's just too cumbersome, and I still haven't got a decent tripod. So yeah, I'll show you the after when I'm done. All right, so I've got my cable tied. I used some sealant tape there around the hole because my silicone was dried up. I had another zip tie there. These are my two wires that, if you want the parking lights on or off, or the, what is this, the reverse image, I'm going to leave these for now. I'll test it before I put all this on. But now, so this comes with a feed wire and a ground wire. What this does is you can, on the other end of this cable, let's see if I can find it here. So this goes behind the dash. You would feed this to your reverse signal input on your radio, and then it would provide power to the radio, or the signal to the radio, and then power to the camera. But I want to be able to turn my camera on while they're driving, so have it on all the time. So I cut the wire here. We're not going to hook up to this end of it because this end is going to get power from the ignition, and then I just found red is my backup wire, or backup light wire here, since I'm in this corner pillar, and I'm going to splice into this wire and run another wire with this wire here, so that I have reverse signal to the radio, and then the camera will be powered. So that'll give me my reverse trigger. And since I'm already got this open in the corner, I might as well just do it right here, and then I'll ground it. I'll clean off a spot here somewhere on this side so it's not in the way of the jack, and ground the camera to the body. So that's kind of where we're at. Okay, I'm back. I had to wait for my neighbor to stop cutting down whatever tree they're doing over there. Couldn't hear anything. All right, let me show you what I've got. So I've got the backup camera is ran. I got my wire grounded. Got the camera grounded anyways. And let me zoom you out. I'm tapped into my red wire for the backup light. And I've got it zip tied along, going down. Sorry, it's a little chilly. My nose is running. Got it tied along here in the wire track, and then all the way under in the wire track. I already put this cover on, but it's in there. Tied the excess up in the corner. I've got it all zip tied up along top, and I've got enough coming out. I don't want there's gonna be a lot going in that dash, so I don't want to put too much wire in the dash. It's got pretty elaborate radio plug, or the adapter's got a lot of wires coming off it, so I want to make sure I leave myself enough room back there. I'm all crooked. So next step, I think, will be to assemble the radio, get it in its mount, make sure I've got all my wires behind the dash that I need. I want to get the radio in, verify that the backup camera and all that stuff works, and then I'll work on the door speakers, because I want to be able to test the speakers as I install them to make sure they work. So I will normally, if I didn't have a backup camera, I do the speakers first, the factory radio, and that way I know they work, and then I do the radio. But this time with the backup camera, I wasn't sure. Usually it takes the longest, so yeah, got that going, got that done. I will finish putting everything back together back there once I verify everything works. So that's the last step, is to put all that crap back in. So let's go work on the radio now and see what we can do there. And now I gotta clean my workbench off again because I just spread shit out. So, all right, I will be back. Oh, by the way, that only took about maybe 45 minutes. It wasn't that bad. I've done worse. There's been worse. I probably spent more time taping the damn thing up, taping my purple wire to the camera cable. The rest of it was really easy. So Toyota did a good job. I'm impressed with how easy this car comes apart and goes back together. Well, hopefully it goes back together good. So be back. All right, I'm back. It's been about probably about an hour. I had to fart around with the radio a little bit. The antenna that's on this thing is not powerful. I get crappy radio reception in my garage already. I was getting nothing on this thing, so I thought maybe the antenna was bad or the connection was bad. Nope. Just finally found a station when I was, after like the third time pulling it out, trying to double check wiring. So Crutchfeld pre-wired this, and it had a reverse signal already there. I didn't notice that until after I'd already ran my reverse wire. Glad I did. It is for the premium sound system, which it doesn't have. So if it had a factory backup camera, the reverse signal would be at the dash. Since it didn't have a factory backup camera, I need to make my own. So yeah, good on me. So I've got, let me show you here. Got the radio in. It's as good as I can get it. That kit is horrible. This piece is separate from the piece that mounts the radio to the dash. I had this thing in and out, adjusting it. That's the best I can do, and I'm going to leave it. Got the microphone ran up there. Cables all run down along that way. I just started on the door, so I got this all taken apart. This is a factory setup. I've got, that's interesting. Huh. Wow, look at the size of the plug on that thing. Jesus. So I'm going to work on getting these speakers done. This has got, you pop the handle cover off that's here, screw here, and you got one behind the actual open release handle, and you pop the window switch out. So I got all my parts down there. Yeah, I'm going to pop these door speakers in. This should be pretty quick. He came with adapters, so it should be pretty plug and play. I'll mock up the speakers. Oh, great. Looks like they riveted them in, so I'll have to do inserts instead of rivets, but no big deal. All right, I'll be back when I'll show you what it looks like before I put the door panel back on. All right, it's been about another probably 45 minutes or so. I had to fabricate some stuff on this door. I usually do the driver's side door first because it's closest to my workbench, and I can get a feel for, you know, what tools I need to bring to the other sides of the vehicle and everything. So turn you around here and show you what I got. All right, so I had to drill out the factory speaker and mount this JVC in basically with glue or epoxy. It doesn't look the prettiest, but it definitely is solidly mounted. I had to make my own clip, because what they do is they run the speaker wires basically daisy chained or parallel off of this down to the other speaker. So I've got I just had this hooked up for testing. I don't know if it loses auto, like if Nissans do it, I don't know if Toyotas do it, but if you ever connect power and then like your door locks or your door switches or your airbag light or something like that isn't hooked up, it'll throw a code, or it'll forget that it has an auto window. It's easy to reset, but it's still a pain in the butt. So I've got I use the hardware that came with the kit. It's still down on the floor there. So you drill out the rivets, and they give you some screws and nuts that go on the back side. So I use those. I trimmed the screws down because they were way too long. They were like, well, yeah, they're about that long. Back you up here. So sounds pretty good. I've got that door panel off, but I haven't started yet. I wanted to see if I had this bracket right side up or upside down. I couldn't remember because it looks really high in the door, but that's actually where the door fits. So you can flip it around. So of course, you know, Murphy's Law, I would have it flipped upside down after I put the door, and figure it out after I put the door panel on. But everything's good. I put foam behind the speaker adapter and behind the speaker, so everything's foam, nice. Everything's nice. Actually, it sounds really good. No rattles or nothing. So I'm gonna continue on with the front door over there on the passenger side, and then I will do the back doors, and I'll show you what the back door looks like when it's apart. And this is already taking me longer than I had budgeted for, but it's all right. Everything's going to be right, and it's going to be good, and it's going to be done properly. Sometimes it takes a little longer to do it right. So be back. Okay, it's been a while. It's been a good hour and a half, maybe two. All done with the car. Once I got the back doors off, it's the same. It's the same as the front door, minus the tweeter. So I had to drill 3 rivets, put all the screws in. Pretty simple stuff, actually. The back doors went pretty quick, but I got it all back together. We could give you a here. Everything is all good. Don't need the park brake on anymore. God damn, zoom out. Able to retain the factory aux and USB. We'll see if we can play a little sound clip. Maybe it won't get YouTubed or whatever, but steering wheel buttons work. It's pretty simple. It's just mode, volume up and down, and track up and down. This is, I think, the display on the dash there. But we got backup camera comes on. It's kind of goofy. Yeah, that's about as much as I could probably play before it gets caught. But yeah, you can go through all the settings here, and I'll get the customer get their phone hooked up and all that when they get here. I gotta set the clock yet, but they've got that clock there, so it's actually only a minute off, and I haven't set it yet, so interesting. I don't know how that happened. So yeah, that's the install. This is a 2012 RAV4. If I didn't say that earlier, pretty decent vehicle. It's a one owner. He bought it new, and he's just looking to upgrade, get a little better sound, a better just better listening experience, the Bluetooth and all that with the Apple CarPlay and stuff like that. So thanks for watching. Like I say in my other videos, if you want to like or subscribe, whatever you want to do, feel free. I do this on the side, and also don't video edit much, so these are off my phone and just how they are. And again, I'll eventually get a tripod and show you guys how I actually do some of the work. This one, I quoted 4 hours. It took close to 6, so lost a little money on this one, but it's all right. This guy's a good customer, and I have no problem taking the extra time to do it right and make sure it's done correctly. And not that I don't do that for everybody, but yeah, put a little extra effort into this one. So have a good one. See you on the next video.